This is From the Pro, conversations with the creators at the Proletariat. Here's Jim Bratton.
We're at the Proletariat. We're talking to Sarah Saenz, who is here doing some work on behalf of your students today?
Yes.
So you're a teacher, or no, you're in education, right? Tell me.
Yes, I actually teach sixth grade this year.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you're preparing something for sixth graders. You're also a photographer, and many of us have seen you here taking candids and archival of everything that happens at the Proletariat. How did that all get started?
It was an interesting story. So I've always loved photography. I've always loved taking pictures.
Right.
Our daughter was getting ready to move out of the house. It was her senior year, and she's our youngest.
Right.
I was really sad. And so my husband was like, you have to have a hobby. Like, we have to have something going so that when she leaves, you're going to be okay. And so I just started taking pictures everywhere we went, and my husband would be very intentional about taking me to places where I could take a lot of pictures. And it just formed organically from there.
So this began as a defense mechanism.
Yes.
And turned into a hobby with lots of photography, and your husband assisted by encouraging you all to go places that were photographically viable then.
Yes.
Were you trained in photography?
Not at all. I started going to the library and just getting books about photography and reading about it. I taught a photography class for my students a couple years ago. So I learned, I guess, the techniques, but never really applied them until our daughter moved out of the house.
And this is fairly recently then.
It is, yeah. Only about 2 years, maybe?
And it has progressed.
Yes.
Now, we see you here all the time. Take me to where it has reached right now. You've got an entity that you've named, right? What is it called?
Yeah, so Mid the Pines is my site. We called it because my husband and I met in East Texas among the pine trees. And so we felt like that's where our story really began, was Mid the Pines.
So called Amid the Pines, and that is the website.
Yes.
Now tell me about what can we expect to find there. We're going to put this on the header of the podcast, by the way. All the information, where they can find this, it'll all be there as we go to download this podcast. Yeah. But tell me, and you have enjoyed an incredible success on this thing, as it turns out. Tell me about that.
It was very surprising. So at the beginning, it was more of Google reviews. And so I would put my pictures on Google with a review of different places, and it got over 1 million hits. So Google kind of celebrates me as this, over 1 million hit photographer. Which I was it's very surprising, because that wasn't I just wanted to share photos of places. I didn't realize it would be a thing. So
what is the process of sharing those on Google?
I just did it as Google reviews. And so we would go places, and I would just take pictures of whatever place it was and post a review to go with it. And I didn't know that you could get followers that way. And so I just kind of got a little following going.
So you do a Google review and substantiated by the photographs you'd taken.
Yes.
And so how do you think the hits were? Were they based on the reviews or the photographs, or a combination of all of them, or what?
Probably the photographs. At first, I thought it would be funny to post a picture and they would have to actually click on it to see what the picture was. So kind of a trick to get clicks.
Yeah, we do a thumbnail kind of.
Yeah, and then it just became a thing where people were just following me and looking at the pictures. So
now, do you have to from a purely practical sense, with their comments, then you've got a series of comments that you have to respond to. So do you have a tiger by the tail on keeping up with the social media aspects of this?
I just try to set aside time every day to kind of look through and respond or add things. I try to keep it as positive as possible, because I figure a lot of people are looking at it, and I don't want to destroy a business or, make people look bad by doing a negative review. So I try to always look for a positive thing.
And a supportive review then?
Yes.
Or constructive?
Constructive, yeah.
I'm sitting here just stunned. I mean, what did it feel like when you saw this thing nosing up toward 1 million hits or whatever? I mean,
It was very surprising because I had just launched my Mid the Pines Facebook page, and like within like 20 minutes I had, over 100 followers on that. And so I was like, whoa, like to have two, kind of affirmations from the universe that I was going on the right path. So.
how did you, now, can you dovetail these together where you can point towards your Amid the Pines, Facebook, etc., from the Google reviews?
That's a good question. I haven't tried to marry them yet. Actually, I hadn't really thought about marrying them. I was just so surprised that, like...
You're just still in elation then. I mean, I always have to think about the commercial aspects, right? I'm thinking, wow, 1 million folks.
That's so crazy to me. Like, it's still surprising. But...
I haven't read those reviews, so now we're going to put, I'll try to put a few links to those reviews as well.
Okay.
So they can see what you've done, because I have a feeling that it's the pictures and the fact that you're supportive or constructive in your reviews.
Yeah, and I've had like business owners contact me, like if I was constructive and they had questions about it or wanted to improve on something, they'll call me and say, hey, how can we fix this, or what can we do better? And so got a few free meals out of it.
I'll bet you have. Yeah. Good for you, and that's a good deal for them on all respects. Yeah. So what do you think comes next?
That's a good question. So I do have a show at the Proletariat in March.
Yes.
So I'm at home preparing for that right now. And then we'll see what happens after that.
Well, for our listeners, Sarah is here for almost all the Wednesday night concerts, the sidewalk sessions here. And I can tell you that she can balance on one leg with a camera and a bag full of gear and extra lenses, and do it as if it was just nothing. That is. So if you want to come by some Wednesday night sidewalk sessions, you'll probably see Sarah shooting pictures here too. Yeah. Sarah Saenz, what a delight to talk to you today.
Thank you.
This has been From the Pro, conversations with the creators at the Proletariat. Theme percussion created and performed by Patrick Wheeler, mastered by Chris Criticos. From the Pro is a Jim Bratton production. I'm Sierra Sakel.